Justyn Rees Larcombe lost £750,000, his family and his job, and it all started quite late on in life with just a £5 bet.
Yes.
How old were you when you placed this bet?
40.
40,
yeah.
And a wealthy man.
Absolutely.
Never had a problem with gambling before?
No.
And you'd never bet before?
No, absolutely not.
What was it on? What did you bet on?
I was a game of rugby. I was at home. I'm ex-military, so maybe there's a bit of a thrill seeker in me. I reached a bit of a plateau at work. My little son, Matthew, who was 11 months old, had nearly died in my arms just a couple of weeks before. Right. And I suddenly saw one of the adverts. I really saw it for the first time. 18% of every advert is a gambling-related advert on TV, but for the first time, I saw one.
It clicked. Yeah. And you won.
I won. And do you know what? I asked myself, what would have happened if I'd lost that?
Yeah. You put £5 down as a bet. What did you win?
I won my £5 stake back. It was a £5 free bet. Yeah, that was it.
You didn't win a huge amount of money that then made you think I can keep doing this? And
no, and you know, this is the worst thing about gambling addiction. It's always gradual, it's always slow, it draws you in. At first it's a bit of fun, and you know, it was a bit of excitement. I began to engage with sport a bit more. I thought I knew something about rugby, about cricket, about football. But at the end, I was where everyone else ends up, the addicts, on the online casino or the casino games.
Tell me how those work.
So a casino game, it's just like any other live casino, but you do it online. So the fixed odds betting machines that we're talking about today would be a casino game like roulette or like blackjack. The problem is the speed, the rapidity that you can keep doing it. If you place a bet on a sports match, you might have to wait an hour and a half for the outcome. But with gambling, every 20 seconds on the roulette wheel, it's lethal.
Now, you did it online. Yeah. How much money did you start to win or lose? How did you say it started gradually, but you got to £750,000 down?
Yeah, the problem I had is I had access to money and I had time. I kept everything a secret from my wife. She didn't know a thing. For 3 years, she was living with a stranger, someone she thought she knew. So I sat at home, working from home. I'd do my work in a couple of hours. The rest of the day would stretch out ahead of me.
And that was deliberate? Was it?
I think so. With retrospect, it probably was.
What I can't ever understand, and I'm sure I'm speaking for a lot of people watching who don't have a problem with gambling, is you'd think that because you lose more often than you win, and you can see the negatives stacking up, you'd think that that would be a kind of a learning curve, you know, almost like putting your hand in the fire. It hurts, so you stop doing it.
Yes.
Why does losing more and more and more not stop you from gambling?
I think for the problem gambler, and you have to talk about that small percentage of people, but it's a large number because of the large numbers of people that are gambling in the UK. For those people, it draws you in because you keep thinking to yourself, I can win. My character is such that I'm a terrible loser, really bad loser, but I'm very competitive. I'm also an optimist, and that means in the army they taught me, don't give in, find a way around it, and that's why in professional sport, and at the moment I'm going in to see some of the sports clubs, they have a problem too.
Now, unfortunately, these fixed odds betting terminals in bookmakers are known as the crack cocaine of gambling. So even for those, for an industry that has a problem with addiction and loss, these are the sort of worst of the worst. What do you think should happen with these to stop people becoming addicted to them?
I would love to see the minimum stake reduced. I'd like to see it reduced down to £2.
So what is it? Right, so what is it currently?
It's £100 every 20 seconds. So
£300 a minute.
Yeah.
£300 a minute.
The only people that are doing that are the problem gamblers, without a shadow of a doubt.
And if they reduce that to, what, £2 per 20 seconds?
Yeah, I'd love that. That'd be great, because then it wouldn't pull people in. The problem with it is people will go in to have a bet on the football, like they always do. They'll look over in the corner and think, what are those people doing? Piling money in.
Yeah.
And eventually they'll go there. And they are so addictive because you desperately want to win your money back.
How did you stop? Because you're clean now.
Yeah, 5 years in about 2 weeks' time.
Did you just stop like that?
Do you know, I did, and that's very rare. I think for a lot of people, it's a difficult, slow process, and Gamblers Anonymous and other help that you can get. And by the way, there's not much help out there for gamblers.
How did you stop then? What happened?
I've got a strong faith. I relied on that. I went back to exercise. I put some blocks in place. So there's a great bit of software that stopped me from using a gambling site. I knew if I pressed a button, it would send an email to my mum. And I was away from my triggers because I lost everything. I was homeless, about to be evicted from my home, lost my family, lost my house, lost everything.
Have you got them back?
Well, Emma came back for 9 months. We were reunited. But do you know what? The trust, we just never got it back. Yeah.
And what about your finances? Are you solvent again?
Yes, 2 years after, I had £73,000 worth of debt and a black bin liner, having worked in the city with a six-figure salary, but it's all back. 2 years ago, 2 years after I'd stopped gambling, I paid off my last penny.
And just last question, someone at home is watching this, many will be watching this and saying, he's me, I'm like he used to be. What do I do? In a couple of sentences, what's the first step?
Oh, you've got to talk to someone about it.
Right.
The problem about it is it's easy to internalise. You must talk about it to someone else.
OK, that's the starting point. Good. I'm
Well,
glad
it's good
you're
to
back in
talk
the
to
real
you.
world.
Thank you so much.